There we are. Hey, everybody. We're live now. You should see my startup screen thing. We obviously are not doing a show tonight, but I do have footage from a different show that we did. That's almost the same thing, right?
Basically.
Yeah. It's only a day old or something like that, so it's almost new. It's almost fresh.
It's technically an arcade pit.
Let's move to the no, never mind. I don't have any overlay because I just don't have it. I don't know how to get that offhand. It's some kind of weird Discord link thing. There's that cat. Okay, so we have basically what we've got is there are 3 cameras. There's my point of view on OBS, which is what I have. There's their camera, which I don't have, that they'll put on YouTube, that I'll merge with it later. It has the audio with it. And as far as our mics, it has our mics. And
Oh, nice.
whatever audio comes through this. It has both. So that's the feed I'm missing is our mics. So we don't have that tonight. Be talking over that part. I'm not going to pretend to know what everyone said, but we'll just talk about MAGFest and shit. But thanks for the sub, eh?
Yeah, no, MAGFest was a real good time this year.
Too cheap and broke to go to MAGFest crew represent.
Yeah. There's a third camera that was not turned on, unfortunately. It's the camera I bring to get a third point of view. So I don't have that. There's a fourth camera in the form of my webcam that we did use for like the board games and stuff. So that is in here, of course, because that pipes through OBS.
Yeah.
So I do have that. Let's start this sucker. MAGFest was great, though. Aside from my panel, I had a lot of other things to do.
Yeah, no, I felt like I didn't really have enough time to do everything I wanted to.
You ride F-Zero?
Oh yeah, yeah. The lines were not too long if you wait until like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna be willing to wait like 20 minutes in line. And like, I can wait on that.
Try to get food at 1 a.m. Ended up going to McDonald's after a long try of not doing that, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that was I was surprised to find all the boxes of fries that were apparently all.
I'll pause for subs. Thanks for the subs, though, everybody. Jeez, I know I haven't been on in a couple days. I heard there was some kind of what was it? A shrimp parade?
Yeah, like there was a shrimp parade just out of nowhere.
I didn't see that live.
Yeah, no, I missed it. We were was that last night or the night before?
I just saw somebody talking about it.
Because I think I saw pictures of it last night. I think we were mostly
Nice
just
to come back to this after coming home
around
myself.
at the hotels, hanging out at parties, crashing the Garfield party, which was a story and a half. Did you ever see those Garfield business cards that were just kind of lying around with QR codes on them?
Yeah, I had one.
What's up?
Apparently there was a link to a
sub.
Discord, and we joined that Discord on like last night, and we noticed that somebody's like, "Oh, there's a Garfield party in this room." So we sent them a message like, "Hey, is it cool if we bring like 16 of our friends?"
Wow.
And
2
they didn't
years.
really respond at all. We just figured maybe they're joking, but we just went down there to see, and no, it turns out they were actually just having a Garfield party. Like they were showing the pipe strip video from Lasagna Cat.
I see. I found one of those and I scanned it, and it was a weird link, so I didn't do anything with it. I missed out on a party then because I didn't scan the QR code of the Garfield that I found.
Yeah, it was a Discord link, but we just popped in for a little bit because we didn't want to fucking bring 16 people into this poor dude's room. We literally like tripled the number of people in there when we came in.
I see. So I was almost a part of one of the weirder things with MAGFest there. Then I guess I did not roll with that.
No, it's the dude there was like so excited. He asked Ty like, Okay, I got some Garfield trivia for you. How do you spell John? And he's like, okay, Jon. The dude got so nuts that he knocked over a bottle of, I don't remember if it was a bottle of alcohol or something, or it might have been a glass into the sink, just broke it, like immediately within a minute of us coming in. It was great.
Let me
We absolutely made that dude's night.
let me get this working right here. I have a split video because I foolishly thought maybe I should check who won Jenga. We'll get to that in a second. Got some information about that, but that's I guess we'll get to that in 42 minutes actually, but Media Player Classic kicks ass. If you're using another video player, I don't know where you've been in the last 20 years. They've never made a better one than original Media Player. Dump whatever garbage you're using, unless it's maybe VLC Player. That's my tip. It's internet user for 30 years or whatever. Anyway, what we got going on here in this arcade pit panel, I made it a little different than last year, and next year we'll fix what issues I had with it. I didn't have many. This worked very well. I had a few, but on the left we have, it says number 20, so I had a business card hastily written on the back of that business card was a number between 1 and 200 was handed out. So number 20 is the person who got pulled for the left team, and number 85 was pulled on the other team. As they play things, if they fail, they lose a heart. If they lose 3, they're out, and a new player comes up. If they win, they get 1 or 2 points. I'm probably going to expand that because some of that shit was really hard and worth more than 2 points comparatively. But they got 1 or 2 points for winning, and we did give them prizes. I don't think you'll see it on camera here, but I gave them... I don't think you'll see it on anyone's camera, not even their recording. But I gave them a Build-A-Bear Bowser doll, the winner, and everyone else got some mag bucks. Giving out prizes was kind of a disaster. That was one of the worst parts of the show for me. That and, well, we'll see what else here in the end of this. This video's an hour long. I'll be fast-forwarding through it a little bit, though, because right now what's happening is those people are coming up and, you know, they're not really on camera or anything, so we're not looking at anything, so there's no reason to sit on it. So we started with our standard team battle, and we rolled over to Shaq Fu because I have good taste in games, right?
Yeah, I think this was just mostly just people coming up, immediately getting started.
Yeah, people weren't sure how this worked yet. Even if you were here last year, it's different enough, I think, that it takes a second to get the handle on what's going on. By the way, I don't know how many people were there, but we filled that completely up. Like, there's footage of every chair being filled, and the max occupancy of that room is like 1,200. I don't think that's how many chairs were out there, but it's not that far off of that number, man. We hit some numbers on this panel compared to last time. We really did. It went really well.
Yeah, there's a really good turnout.
I feel like it was more like 600 or 700 people, but I didn't count the chairs. You know, I have no idea how many it actually is.
Yeah.
I think the Shaq Fu sequel did come out. Let me fast forward somewhere.
It came out and apparently was pretty bad.
So, obviously I don't have all the footage for this. I should have brought my mic so I could have audio for you. I don't have that. And I regret that I didn't record on my other camera either. So really all I have is this, and when they put out their recording, which they did make onto YouTube, I can combine them with this, get the audio feed that's missing the mics, and you'll be able to watch the full thing on YouTube then. With this feed, that they'll have this too, but it will be on a projector. It won't look as crisp as, you know, what this is.
Yeah.
I don't think the Shaq Fu game was very good. That's right. So we had them play Shaq Fu, and nobody knew what was going on. We didn't have any experts in this game. We had some experts in some of the challenges, but not this. Nobody picked Shaq because they were warned that Shaq is bad.
Shaq is awful in this game. He's the worst.
The bosses are available to pick, and we didn't tell them which ones were the bosses. Beast and the Mummy are tiers and tiers above everyone else. They're so much better than the others.
Yeah, apparently the Mummy is stupid good. disgusting.
I mean, we get a lot of viewers online. It always kind of blows me away when I sit down and think about how 500 people are watching my online show. But to see nearly 1,000 people in real life is a different ball game, man. It's crazy to see that many people show up. That's a ton. That's as many as we could have had. There was a line. People were waiting to get in. We handed out.
No, it did really well.
It was great.
Kind of sucks that they really rushed us out at the end. We didn't really get too much of a chance to just hang around in the room afterwards.
Yeah, I was expecting that. I wanted to, one of the problems I had was that I couldn't hand out prizes because we got rushed and I had to clean up, and I actually forgot a cable and had to go back an hour and a half later after the next panel was done to get it. Hey, thanks for the sub. Yeah. We're gonna do balloon fight here, which was, hold on a second.
What's up, Smite, and welcome back from MAGFest.
It was... Balloon Fight is this one-on-one battle, which is not what Balloon Fight is, obviously. I pretended it was Joust, I had them battle each other. They did terrible in this, it was great. I loved it. It was perfect. I was worried that they'd...
pinball machine?
Yeah, oh man, that kicked ass too. There's a Joust pinball machine, and there's another one, just a soccer machine where you pinball against each other. So this was...
broken.
Oh, that broke out later. There was the Joust one wasn't there yet when the soccer one was working. This Balloon Fight game, man, they did bad. I was worried that they'd be here fighting for ages, you know, hugging the top of the screen as you do in Joust. They can't even get moving. They're completely screwed.
Oh yeah, they were getting looped like over and over. Just lose. Yep, there it is.
Red wins. So
immediately.
So that was a good fight. A lot of our challenges went like this. I was worried we wouldn't fill out the hour. You know, that's a side note too. I have the option to ask for 90 minutes, maybe even 2 hours. 90 minutes is what I'm going to aim for next time. That would buy me a lot more time. A lot more time to relax and not rush so much. We stopped giving them map choices before too long on this because they were taking too long for us to finish.
Yeah, I think there was the one person who kind of waffled on picking a challenge, and then it's like, nope, you're getting Zelda.
Yeah, that happened right here. So I gave them their 6 games. It's they're not bad. I made all these myself. I checked them all. I didn't make all the challenges myself, but I handpicked them, you know, and some nerd right here. What happened exactly here? I didn't understand what was going on, but
they were like, okay, I'm gonna go with Zelda, but I kind of want to go with Kirby or something like that, and then like you already clicked Zelda at that point, so like
yeah, he was making a joke that I didn't get. He was like, I'm a big Zelda fan, I played them all. Anyway, give me Kirby, and I had already clicked Zelda. So he's playing Zelda, because I can't undo.
Sorry dog, got a pill to run.
Yeah. I can't go back in time on that. So, Moldorm it was. I had him fight Moldorm. He was not ready for this. It's really hard to run. There's not much I can do about this big factor that always stresses me out. I run my normal show on 3 monitors, and even that's cramped. This is all on a laptop. All of this. Yeah. So, I don't have him getting control of the thing right now, and that's why he dropped a bomb there. Because he was pushing buttons wondering why he couldn't move. That's my fault. I don't have a timer on screen either. I made a couple of minor mistakes like that, but running this off of a laptop is tough. I love the, anyway, I love the Zelda player who doesn't know Moldorm isn't weak to bombs. This was great to watch. I let him know after a little while that he's not going to win that way.
There was an attempt at bombs.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but it just doesn't work. Maybe been a while since you played this one, or maybe skipped this one. There's so many Zelda games. This seems like a good idea, but it doesn't work at all. They got you beat.
No, you gotta get down in there and fight them. Did they have access to the hammer here? Oh no, this is just like vanilla Zelda, so probably not.
Yeah, it's just regular. This fight is so easy for a good player that you could win in like 10 seconds flat.
Yeah, they weren't using the spin attack or anything. They weren't blocking the head, so they get bonked off constantly.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a 45-second victory for 2 points, or a 1 minute 30 second for 1 point. And if you don't do that, you lose a heart. So he's the first one to fail a challenge. The other guy who lost the team battle lost a heart for that, though. Anyway, he died. And time is almost up at this point. There it is. So that was our first team battle, and 4 points on the left player for winning both team battles at this point. I should have knocked 2 hearts away. Oh, I did. Yeah, that guy's out already because he lost 2 team battles in a challenge. So number 85 was the first player out. He got a 0. Whoops. It was a nice effort though, I guess. It was just like Balloon Fight massacred him, and so did Link to the Past. Shaq Fu is everybody loses that, so whatever. A new player's coming down. Here's Maddie's Indies game icon that he drew for us.
Yeah.
So I have Tricky Towers, Duck Game, and Nidhogg 2 as the 3 indie games. And basically when one of them comes up, it's a team battle and I pick which one they're playing. So let's go ahead and fast forward into Tricky Towers. Survival, special, single match.
This is actually good for me because from where I was sitting, the people were standing right in front of me to play the game, so I couldn't see the footage. So now I can actually see what happened here.
There was a bit of confusion here because the controllers were switched up. We couldn't figure out which one was player 1 on the left on the map, which was the yellow team. I think they got swapped. So yellow team is on the right, and that messed me up on the scoreboard a little bit, but we fixed it ultimately. The score does matter because there's not teams, really. They're just one-on-one, and a new player comes up to continue the one-on-one, and it's basically like almost a solo show. You're competing just for your own score, but there's another player there to fight you, and that player changes when they're out. That's all, so...
Yeah.
The score matters in the sense that prizes come out based on your score.
Yeah, you're just fighting for the chance to stay on and keep getting points. The team is just a formality.
Neither of these players... I mean, I feel like it's easy to tell if you're a Tricky Towers player or not. These guys might have played Tetris. You can see that they kind of have, but this they have not. There's no way that they are familiar with what's going on here. One of them isn't using spells, even though I told them, you know... I don't think my mic was as loud as I probably wasn't using it very well.
The mixing in there was not the best. Like, they weren't doing a ton of audio balancing, it felt like.
Yeah. Hey Charles, how you doing? I'll get to your part here in 20 minutes, thereabouts.
Yeah, the Jenga incident. Still having the refs review the footage.
Well, that's that battle. But yeah, I am just speeding through some of this. There's a lot of breaks because it's all live show stuff. It wasn't like we just sat on this screen for any period of time or anything like that. We actually went through a lot of content in this time period, which is why I kind of want another 30 minutes. It would help.
Yeah, just smooth out any awkward pauses or whatever.
So we had we took that hard. This is why I had Maddie with a notepad helping me figure out who's up and what the hell the score was, because they were switched here. I had to delete a player and re-add him, give him back his points, and give 2 to 40. Sound test. We'll see if you guys can get this sound test. Feel free to guess in chat because it's not a real show, right? Yeah, it's already done. So if you weren't there and you don't know the answer, here you go. Give it a shot. This is the live footage from Arcade Pit 2 days ago. Let's play, so I knew what content I'd have, and I was very careful not to show the names of the songs. It's a pain in the ass. But I managed to do it.
Oh, right, I remember this one.
They missed it.
Yeah. from Star Fox.
It's Star Fox. This is the Meteor song. It's actually from Star Fox 2, but this is the same song. They just reused the whole OST. So, Heart Lost. I don't think either of my sound tests got guessed. I don't think anyone heard any nerds saying answers out loud. That's never happened, I don't think, in any show-crushing way. Not to me, anyway, thankfully. So I just have them answer one question for Quizler. I don't really like doing trivia on the show as much as the other stuff. I like to burn through it quickly. I think it's boring if you do it too much. So it's kind of like a quarter of the show at most. All of the quiz together. It's like, it's just over fast. He missed it. The answer to that is Hammer Brothers block fireballs when you duck. So we're just taking hearts off these players constantly and pulling in new ones. I was worried 3 HP would be too much, but it seemed to work just fine. We had like 9-10 players ultimately.
Yeah, there was only the one person who kind of ran the board a little bit, but that was about it. One
person got a high score, yeah, like clearly won. Oh, the show went wild. Like I was saying earlier, we had somewhere between 600 and 1,000 people. I have no idea what the number is, but it's in that range. That room was completely loaded. There were no seats left. People were standing in the back. It was good. Anyway, that was answered correctly. Let's move forward here. Indie games are fun watches. Here's this. So this was a slaughter. This was great.
Oh god.
Hit him with those random hogs.
Yeah, this one was not even close.
I loved this. It's gonna happen sometimes. You pull in a game like this and there's gonna be somebody once in a while who just knows it, and you can see as one person tries to figure out how to hold their sword, the other one is doing the moves.
Game, if you played it even like just a couple of times against somebody who hasn't, you're just gonna destroy them.
Yeah, so yeah, this is over about as fast as it possibly could be, short of just running past him and just leaving. So the object of Nidhogg is to kill the person to get control. Currently Orange has control, and then run to the direction that is yours when you have control. Which has been happening the entire time. A flawless victory. All the way to the end. Up until this part where, whoops, can't catch him.
Just throw your knife, no!
That was just bad luck. Welcome to Nidhogg 2. One of the players was a tournament fighter in it, apparently. So, instant loss for number 20 finally out there, and 26 comes up. We roll forward, do another challenge. I should talk about the challenge wall for a second. So I'll tell you right now, nobody picked Contra, Mortal Kombat 2, Marble Madness, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, or Double Dragon 2. They sat there the whole time.
Yeah, they would just kept going to the new ones.
There was exactly enough challenges that everyone could pick 6. I made sure that that was the case. They skipped all 5 of those. So I'll tell you what those ones were. Contra is the stage that's on screen. Beat that stage with a pretty decent amount of lives. Like, if you played through the game perfectly, you'd be in the place where the state was. So that was as easy as it could be for that stage. It's exactly what that stage is. The Mortal Kombat 2 challenge was Shang Tsung with anybody, which isn't too bad. He's kind of an idiot. He changes into junk sometimes and just stands around. Marble Madness was level 3. That's not bad. Nightmare in Dreamland is the Bomb Rally level 3 Tie Tuesday challenge, which is a 1-button challenge, but it's very hard. It's the one that was kind of a gotcha. The Double Dragon challenge is the one on screen there, just again by coincidence. It's that stupid ass gear room. That's all you have to do is jump 5 times. But the gears will throw you into the pits and kill you instantly, so that one's one of the harder ones too. That's what those were. We'll see all the other ones. This one was get to Flame Mammoth in a period of time. And it feels like this person played Mega Man X before, but I don't know what happened because, man, they had some hard times.
Yeah, this one, the big thing was just we didn't have the stage frozen beforehand, which, like, who plays Flame Mammoth stage first before Chill Penguin, like, in this game ever?
Yeah, what this state basically is you killed up until the power up for Chill Penguin and then died there and went to a different stage. That's how this would happen. Like if you just couldn't beat Chill Penguin, but you already have the dash boots. So it's not that much worse, just stay out of the fire. The fire hurts real bad. It's half a hit and you're dead.
Yeah, they were trying to go way too fast. Just trying to get too fancy, like take it a little slowly. That's all you gotta do.
Yep. There's plenty of time. I mean, there's enough time to do this in a minute, and I give him 2. I know it says 1 minute 5 there, but I actually did feel generous and give them 2 minutes on my clock. I'm pretty sure. It's off screen because I'm bad at overlays, and I miss things no matter how hard I try not to. Killed by the miners.
Yeah, like you just gotta sit back and shoot them a little bit instead of just trying to jump through everything. They're gonna catch you.
What was your favorite game in the arcade? Did you play anything new?
I played a fuck ton of Windjammers. I played F-Zero AX. Obviously, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did that twice.
I like the games like Gunslinger Stratos and the other one where you use your hand. Those are pretty cool. It's just the AI was dumb as hell, so you couldn't really enjoy the game. Like, it was just, okay, well, I'm just gonna shoot them to death while they'd stand around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Medieval Madness was there. I played it a bunch. They disabled the castle shaking for some reason. Maybe it was broken, that part. But the rest of it worked just fine. And there's other moving parts, so it was cool.
I never got a chance to play too much pinball. Most of the machines I wanted to try, they were always pretty full up.
He lost here. He has very low health and a little bit to go. Another 10 seconds of correct playing and could have made it, but I didn't have much hope for him at that point. It was not working out on Mega Man there. I really like the Sega Beats Fusion game, the lights, Sega Light thing that they have, where you have 5 lights and you race each other and reflecting the...
Oh, like the one where you shoot the beams back and forth at each other?
Yeah, it's like Light Pong with 5 Pong blasts. I love it.
Yeah, me and Ty played that last night, and this was at like probably 5 a.m. And there was some dude there. He's like, "So, you guys want to play this game?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Are you any good at it?" He's like, "Okay, well, how about you guys both play against me at the same time?" And he fucking dunked us. And then it turns out, yeah, no, he plays that game like constantly.
That machine. I looked up the price. I like to look up the prices on these things in the dream day that I'll be able to buy them, and that one is only like $2,000, $2 to $3,000, versus Medieval Madness, which is 10 to 12 grand. F-Zero AX is also only a couple of grand, which is... I wish I had more than 6 maps, because buying it and only having 6 maps kind of stinks. But man, those maps are good, except for Mute City. Mute City and F-Zero AX is just a circle. Here's this level.
NASCAR.
I thought that these players would... Yeah, I don't want to buy a pinball table because the maintenance on it is insane. I know that. All I'm looking for in this level is 6-3. I had it as 6-4 as well originally, but man, we had trouble beating it in our testing, and it looks like I was right because they're having a lot of trouble too.
Yeah, the visual gimmick, probably they were not used to it at all.
The trick here is to watch his feet, make sure you're jumping on ground. You can walk as far as you can in the way that your feet look. You just gotta figure out what's going on with this. Like right now, you definitely have to watch his feet to see that he can go another whole block over.
Yeah.
And those Medusa heads are not being timed well. To mess him up.
Yep. I also set a high score on the Giga Wing machine, hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do anything to this thing. This is the way the game naturally looks.
Yeah, this is intentional.
Well, that's it for that.
Yep.
That's actually Area 6-2, but anyway, they didn't make it. It was a good effort. Back to the team battles here.
Which one was this one again? the Sonic one?
Yes. This one was kind of boring. You know what happened here is I made a mistake. I forgot that we have to have a team battle at the beginning. And so I pulled this one out of my ass real quick. Just like, what games do I have? It could be a team battle. Oh, Sonic 2. I should have done Sonic 3 at least, but this one is collecting rings. And they do a good job, but it's really boring. This was one of my least favorite parts of the show, is my impromptu team battle is bad. It's one player at a time, and it's boring. They end up winning with 180 rings to 162, which is damn good. They did good work, but it's so easy that it's just not interesting. We got a new player coming up. I did try and get music on, but it's, again, this is all really hard to do on a laptop. Charles is up! Number 102. You're here! Welcome aboard. You were the 5th player. What do we got going on? I think one thing that I should fix is the new player probably should get the turn. It's kind of weird to have somebody come up and not play right away.
Yeah, it's a little... I mean, it's hard to tell because, like, if somebody did just lose a challenge, and that's supposed to be the other person's turn, but then no, like, if new people keep coming up, they don't really get to play too much.
You won the Yoko tournament twice? You won it again!
Yeah, returning champion.
Nice work. I didn't get to catch that because it was on right before my show and I was busy finishing this. I had to leave throwing controllers 20 minutes early and get working on this. Monster Rancher Hop About.
Oh
Amazing.
god.
I loved it. I see my overlay there is a little screwed up, but whatever, you know. This is my favorite team battle. So, I told them not to pick Gollum, and I just threw them into a pretty hard stage. If you haven't seen this game before, it's nasty. It's all D-pad, I'm pretty sure. You dodge pits, you pick up good items, you dodge bad ones. There's boosters, time extensions, time down, reverse, sideways arrows, stuff like that. Controls, I think maybe can be swapped. I turned up the volume because I love the music. I was given this game on Kuso, I beat it. It was a really hard stage, it took me 10 minutes.
Can you control your forward speed at all, or no?
They're going max speed when you see them really cruising, and the arrows that boost up really go faster.
Right, I meant, like, can you control it yourself, though, or are you just always at a fixed speed and the game just controls it for you?
You control it.
Okay.
You control it all with D-pad. You only get so much air control, though. You can't, like, completely stop midair and stuff and dodge these pits. It's really easy to fall in the pits.
Yeah, half of them are every other space. A hole.
Player on the left did really well to finish this so quickly.
Yeah, I think they were the one that ended up giving the high score. I think they got the Bowser.
Oh.
Spoilers.
I mean, if that's the case, then, Charles, you were up against the grand champion of my pit show, and that seems like it's possible because they're already halfway there. What did we have now? Oh, figuring out how the map works is what's happening here. Blitz. Blitz happened. This was close. I remember this one. Playing one of my favorite songs by Dave R.D. Diddy and Dixie are a couple. Candy turns Kirby invincible. Is the answer to this one. Double Dragon, who do you play as? So I'm looking for 5 points on the Quizler Blitz to get 2 points on the show. And if you can get 3, I'll give you 1 point. If you only get 2, you lose a point. So at this point, Charles is on the ropes and needs to get the next 2. What word is on DJ's pants? It's maximum. At this point, Charles has lost. But the last one is led by Mac. What enemies are in the Mushroom Kingdom? Shy Guys on Pogo Sticks is right, but 2 out of 5 isn't enough. So she's lost another heart, and we're back to the other guy's turn. Screen crap shows up. There it is. I was debating whether I should use this intro or not, and I decided I absolutely should, and there's no question about it.
Yeah, you gotta have this. It's real important.
One thing that I don't have on this show that I think I should is Hustler. It's kind of weird, but I would have the other player pick a bad game out of 3 for the the opponent to play, and win or lose, a heart and a point happen. Guess these pictures. Final Fantasy XIV. Got it right away. Altered Beast instantly got it. If you're faster than this guy, you can guess, but he was crushing it. Like we said. Star Control 2. Got all 3 of them right away. Up to 6 points. Got all 3. So there's 2 points there. It's Colossus of Pit. We're back to Churls, and it's Jenga.
Do you have the footage for this, or is that also something that has to come up later?
I have this footage because the webcam runs through OBS. So there was some contention about... Is contention the right? There was some contest about who won this thing, and we have video of... But the video isn't extremely helpful, but I think it does clarify the controversial judgment call that happened at the end of this Jenga match, which we don't have mics for, unfortunately. So you won't hear Ty Tuesday yelling about how people don't know Jenga and all that, and you won't hear us chanting 10 seconds down. What happens is they have 10 seconds to make a move, and if they don't do that, then instant loss.
There were some questionable moves.
I don't trust. There's the crowd. Video evidence that we did fill the house there.
Yep, all the way to the back.
We'll be moving to Jenga at some point here, as I play my music and wait for Ty to start them up. So, Jenga, I just gotta assume people know the rules to this. I didn't bother explaining them, but I guess not everyone had Jenga. So, you can't pull off the top. You have to... One thing that happened is, people... Since they were rushing, the regular rule of Jenga is that you pull a piece from the middle or whatever and put it on the top, and after you've placed it, then the other person goes. But they were moving so quickly that that wasn't really happening. They were both going almost at the same time.
Yeah, we kind of took some liberties here, but I think it made it more entertaining, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, that also made it really hard to see who the hell made this thing collapse. And right here we were deciding whether or not Churls lost, and I wasn't sure about that because only one piece fell. We ultimately decided that that's not fun enough, and we kept rolling. Anyway. Yeah, so we just kept going. One piece isn't enough. We need that tower to collapse.
Yeah, I think under standard rules that would be a loss, but like, this is... Come on, would you really want to just watch 30 seconds of Jenga? Oh, well, that's it. It's over.
You can see a couple of people chanting. Eventually we tell them, they're actually going in like 2 seconds each, so we don't need that chant anymore.
Like, they're not even filling out the rows anymore. This is tricky tower Jenga.
So there it was. Who caused this explosion? Let me,
I think that would be the other guy, yeah.
There's an arm in the way.
Yeah, no, he put the last one down, and Churls didn't grab the next piece, so technically...
It's hard to see because his arm's in the way, but I don't know. I mean, it looks like Churls was grabbing one. It's really hard to tell.
Like, from where I was sitting, it looks like it was already falling before she judged it.
Let me go ahead and load... So I stopped the footage there because I was thinking about investigating that, and that was a dumb thing to do, because I don't have time to investigate that, actually. We just had to make a judgment call.
Yeah.
Because even if I looked at the footage, I still wouldn't have been able to tell, so that would have just been 5 minutes down the drain. So let me get the next video rolling. Ultimately, we did call it for Churls, though. for the record, which was my initial assumption because she did not just go. The other guy just went and it collapsed, you know, on his watch, sort of.
And
So-
for what it's worth, it didn't really matter too much because that dude ended up running the board anyways. He got the top score. So even if he had won, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah. I actually had a second camera set up, but I didn't pull out the record button on it. The little flap that makes it record, so I don't have that footage. It would have been nice to have that. Anyway, it's Charles' turn. And gets the challenge wall. Ends up doing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, maybe? I'm not sure what happened here.
Yeah, we did Sonic at this point.
Looking to finish Chemical Plant. Just Zone 1, this is a... Oh, was it? No, it's not Charles' turn, it's the other guy.
Yeah.
Because she just got Jenga. This is the other guy playing Chemical Plant. Now, this was a very friendly challenge. I should have made this harder, probably. Chemical Plant Zone Act 1 is free, almost, if you don't completely fail. It was the easiest challenge in the group. I always have an easy one, but even this one was a little bit too easy, I think. I should have done Act 2. Act 2 is a little bit meaner.
I get the idea the dude had played Sonic before because he saw the challenge pop up. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the most popular Sonic game on the Genesis, let's be real, probably is Sonic 2, and that's a very popular level in it, so there is 8 points. That is, I think that's the high score, 8 points. There it is, 26. There's only 20 minutes left in the show, and no one else beats that, I'm pretty sure. This guy is my Bowser winner at that point. Sound test for Churls got the other difficult thing. Kinda got some bad RNG, didn't you? Jeez. Had to play a bunch of team battles against this monstrous opponent, and then you got the sound test. I was sad that Drawbridge, we missed one of the Drawbridge prompts, it just didn't show up. So, here you go, chat. What is this song? Yeah, you got it. It's River City Ransom running through the city. It is a NES game for sure. If you've played River City Ransom, you'll hear this song more than most anything else. Because it's just the song that plays during the downtime. So with that, Charles is out. She did not get it. And we were bringing up a new person at this point. I was not sure if I wanted to try and type in names. Everyone just got assigned their number for the most part, because trying to hear their names was a difficult thing for me.
Yeah, no, that'd be a bit of a pain in the butt.
I'd have to have a helper to do that almost, because I'm bad at that, as it is.
It also didn't help that the like the way the sound in the room was, you couldn't hear super well from the contestants.
Yeah. The final indie game, if you can't tell by that giant thing, is Duck Game. So we had 2 players who'd never seen it before, I think. Load that sucker up and give it a go. Maddie gave him some ducks. I equipped the one on the right. He equipped the one on the left. Gave him that fishbowl hat. I chose the majestic burger.
I mean, let's be honest here, the fight here was decided before it even started, once you picked up the burger.
Damn right. This game is amazing. It's got online multiplayer that is pretty good. We can play with people in Finland, like Maddie, and it has some latency, but it's still playable. It's very cheap, and it's fun as hell. We had them set to just get to 5. So the way this game works, and there's no way around it, is at every intermission, which in this case happens after 10 rounds, it checks to see who's in the lead, and also it checks to see if anyone has hit the number that they need to win, which in this case is 5. If they tie, by the time they get to round 10, then they go again for another 10 rounds. But if one of them is ahead and past 5, then it's over. So if one of them gets to 5 wins, and then there's, like if they just win 5 times in a row, it's not over yet. It keeps going until it hits that intermission.
Also, yes, chat, we told them how to quack.
Yeah, you know when we did it? Let's see if you can pinpoint it. There it is.
Immediately ketchup starts spraying everywhere. No, we didn't teach them about the pitch. We didn't want to blow their minds too much.
Man, this game is great. They got the hang of picking up guns and shooting them pretty quick, but I mean, there's a lot more to this game than that. This game has a high skill ceiling. You can do slides and stuff and dodge bullets. It's a very twitchy action game. Here we see somebody pull the pin on a grenade, but fail to throw it. Oops.
Yeah, you gotta throw the grenade, not the pin.
A lot of these guns only shoot one time and have to be thrown away or reloaded forever. Which is, for a new player, hell on earth. You never know which gun it is. Like, you pick up a shotgun that has 2 shots in it. Oh.
Yep. And if you're careful, or if you're not careful, you're not paying attention, there's the gun that has the barrel that points backwards, and if you shoot that, you just kill yourself.
Here we have a teleporter. The teleporter teleports bullets, which made them very confused about what to do. Took them a long time to work this one out.
I mean, I know how to play this game. This stage still confuses me sometimes. Nobody went for the big chain gun, though.
That ruled.
The BM.
That may be one of the better highlights right there. These sniper rifles are powerful enough to shoot through the gates.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that, though.
So how do you think they did, folks? Here it is. They throw their head to indicate their score. We're looking for 5. We got 7-2. The last point was when they draw on the double kill there. I love the burgers in the audience. I didn't notice that the first time.
Yeah, you get more people cheering for you the more wins you get.
Not a very seamless exit there, but what are you gonna do? That's the best I can do on a live platform, I think. So, with that, our champion goes back to sit down for a while until he gets up for his prize, and we get our next player, our 7th player. So I was worried we wouldn't get very many players, especially at this point, but they started coming out. I think we ended up with 8 or 9. There's still some team battles left. Back to screen crap. Feel free to guess and chat if you want. I don't care this time. This is the exception to the standard rules. Because it's not a live show and you're not telling the players the answers. I mean, that's really the big thing.
Alright, this is one of the Carmen Sandiego games.
Yep, and that's Isaac Guest. I need them to get 2 to get points. 3 to get 2 points.
AO2.
Well, Maddie's on a plane still, so he's not here to time you out. It's safe.
Yeah, they only got the 1, I think, if I remember correctly. Although this one is pretty fucking obscure unless you played a bunch of old computer games. He's wearing a costume because AO2 takes place at Christmas.
Yeah. Saints Row was a good guess. He didn't get that. The chat, not the chat, the live audience, got that. They all shouted it out together. That was Bayonetta and Carmen Sandiego. Here's Perfection. Hell yeah. I loved this. When I saw this, I knew it was coming to the show. The perfect game. The ultimate challenge. I believe this was a Twitch streamer who was playing it based on the apparel that she had on, I think. But I didn't catch that information. Perfection is... Apparently don't have music for this, but that's weird. I should have. They have 60 seconds to put 25 shapes into this contraption. It's extremely hard. I'm looking for 20 to get 1 point and 25 to get 2 points. Getting 20 is a feat. Getting 25 is godlike, especially if you haven't played it, you know, at all. It's really hard.
Yeah, we were testing it in the room beforehand. We could get like, I think Newbie. Was Newbie there?
Yeah, he was in the audience. He handed out my cards.
No, I meant like when we were testing Perfection. I think he was there, maybe.
I'm not sure about that.
So I think Emily tested it, and I think Catsworth tested it. And they both got around 20, so we set that as our baseline.
I did go to the Bit Brigade Mega Man 2, right? That's what that was? I did go to that, yeah. I left after Wily 1 with those, though. That was enough for me. So, there's a lot of, like, similar shapes. Failure has happened. Perfection is over. Did not get that 20. Lost the heart on Perfection. The only board game I had that's not 2 players. And, like, there's 2 S's and, like, 17 diamonds. It's, like, crazy hard. It's way harder than you think. I didn't use Operation this time. Or Crossfire. Crossfire is kind of a disaster. I couldn't find a good version of Crossfire. Here's some trivia for you. Tom Nook's fully expanded store in Animal Crossing is called Nookington's. Earthbound, the bee in the opening sequence. It's Buzz Buzz. Contra's first gun. The M is correct, and this person already has a point. The most character jumps in Smash Bros. 64 is Kirby. The last one's Dreamland. Kirby cannot do this in this game. Copy enemies. That's 5 points. You got a double. That's good work.
Clean them up.
I have other board games I want to bring in. The last board game we had sucked ass, so I didn't like it. I was warned that it would. It's Simon. It was made worse by the crappy new version that they have now that doesn't have 2-player mode, so I feel like that made it a lot easier for them than it should have been. It was unfortunate. It wasted a lot of time, a lot more than I expected it to. So, every time they go, they switch to the other player, and the other player types in the combo as well. The pattern was very easy as well, just by chance, but I mean, if 2-player mode was a thing, the robot would not tell them the whole pattern after each move, and that would make this harder, you know?
This one went on for a little while, yeah.
This thing stops at 27. They didn't get that high, but they did get higher than anyone we had tested, which was lame. It took too much time for something that's only running for 60 minutes.
Didn't really want to do diagonals at all until a ways in.
So I was so pissed off about this not having 2-player mode like the old Simon does that I gave it to the winner. I just gave him Simon. I didn't want to take it home. I have no use for this failure, Simon. It's a prize now. Congratulations on owning Simon.
Here, take my trash.
I mean, it's perfectly functional, and if you want to play solo, that works for that. It's just... These two did really well. On that note, I'll mention this. I met with some folks outside of the show afterwards that were watching. A lot of subscribers in here, too, and I had extra shirts. I gave one to Flargra, and I had another one, and there were like 7 people, so I had them play rock, paper, scissors for it. And they all went at the same time, and I judged it, and we had 6 people roll scissors, and 1 person roll rock. Maniacal Gamer rolled rock, instantly winning against 6 people in the greatest game of rock, paper, scissors that was not recorded.
Just made the best call of all.
Rock smashes through an entire box of scissors. Anyway, the last 2 panels are drawbridge and drawbridge, and I was really sad to see that. We are now at, like, an hour and 27 minutes, and in the back they're telling me to wrap it up, and I'm like, let's do drawbridge anyway. Let's do one, just one, to finish things. The missing drawbridge prompt would have been good too. It was Shovel Knight planting a tree. But this one was solid. If you were not at the show, feel free to try and guess, I suppose. But if you were, don't spoil it for those who are here now new. Maddie is drawing us a prompt, and they have 2 minutes to guess it. And it's a team battle. I have them both guessing. So here we go. I actually went down there to, since I don't have a buzz to tell them they're getting close, to manually tell them that they're getting close or not. This despicable thing. Yoshi is on target. The concept art for this was graciously tweeted out earlier too. Yoshi has a horse, you've got it. A portable stove would be my winner in this case. Nice work on Horse Yoshi. They haven't gotten it yet. I think they just got it. And with that, our live panel is wrapping up, and Maddie adds some finishing touches to this disaster.
I like Yoshi's flaming red mane.
Yeah. That was our live panel, and we ended up with 7 players. I'm hoping for more in the future, but yeah, like I said, I want 90 minutes next time if I can get it. That would certainly fix that. We need to do... so you can see all the events I had. Like I said, I do want Hustle to be up there. I think I want a couple more challenges. I don't really want more trivia. I think that's the right amount. I need to create some kind of thing where it does not have a limit. There's obviously a limit to the number of squares on this map. I think I'd rather build some kind of like scrolling map that you can just get 3 new choices every time, and then you always have... That would work better, and it would have no end, obviously, and we could go as long as we wanted. It just happened to work out both times that I did this. I timed it out perfectly, almost, to where we're nearly out of space when we're out of time. I do want Hustler in there in the form of... I don't know if that would be fun for the player who's up, though, to give a challenge to the other player.
Yeah, because like you just be like, well, play this. I'll just stand here. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like I would be the one picking their challenge. Or the audience picks it or something, right? Like, that would be the one. I would give them 3 bad challenges, let the audience vote on it or something. What do you think about that? That's something I considered but didn't finish.
That could work. It might be tricky to like gauge who's voting for what, though.
Yeah. Test Your Smite wasn't up there because I didn't feel mean enough to put it in there, but I should have. I should put some of those squares in there. And also, what was the other one that was missing? There's no feeling sad thing, really, but I feel like both of those things I just mentioned are that, so I don't think it's needed.
Yeah, no, the thing is, this format is like different. It's not really team versus team. It's just how long can you go.
Yeah.
So like I guess you could do something like once you get to, I don't know, 8 or 10 points or whatever, then you could have to do like a Test Your Smite to get the chance to continue going, to prevent, you know, one person from racking up 20 points and just running the board the entire game. Nobody else gets to play. Something like that.
The first year I did this, I wasn't sure if I should do teams or what. I had no idea on the format at all, right? Like, I was just not sure at all about anything. I was pretty sure that one-on-one was the way to go at this point, so this is just a refined version of last year's. And it went pretty damn well, I think. It was really good. We had a really good time spot for it. We filled that room up. We really did.
We went all the way to the back.
Let me get that footage again of that. Where would we pan the camera here? There we go. So, does anyone feel like counting the number of people in there for me real quick? Just give me a quick, anybody good at that? Just, how many is that? Is anybody good at, like, tell me how many peanuts are in a jar? That kind of thing? Yeah, at least 3 people, I think. You can see, is that Catsworth in the front there, maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's some more of my friends there in the front row. I see, a lot of my friends there, yeah. I don't know if they want me to name their names, but, they're there.
I see me, but I'm super blurry.
Tag yourself. There are 13 to 15 seats in the back and 12 seats in the front, something like that. I know there was more than 200. There's no way it's that low because we handed out 200 playing cards to people. That many people out of the entire crowd decided to play. So how many people didn't is the question. Max capacity for the room is theoretically 1,200, but that's if you load it up with seats, which is not done, right? So, anyway, I'm not really worried about it. I'm just trying to guesstimate, you know, for metrics. I obviously did well with it. We didn't have any room to spare, so it was good. It was a good show. Anyway, that's all the footage I have. You got anything else to say about MAGFest? It was a good time.
Yeah, no, it was a really good time. It was my first time going down. Got real lucky with the weather, thankfully. I didn't have to worry about the cold. I didn't have to bring a heavy coat or anything to go out at night, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it was the warmest time I've ever had there, like by 20 or 30 degrees warmer than normal.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was a great time, though. If you get the chance to go, definitely consider it. It's a real good time.
I don't have the flu. I almost always get sick from something like that. I've always been sick from MAGFest, but I'm not currently, so hopefully I'll be on tomorrow, healthy as I am today. It usually hits me after a day or two, though, so we'll see, I suppose.
I know Maddie got sick. Newbie got... I don't know if he got sick or if he just kind of strained his voice. He was coughing a lot.
Maddie got sick from being at my house, which is... Catsworth didn't, so Maddie just wasn't ready for the foreign bacteria that dwells there, I guess.
He drank too much cherry Dr. Pepper. He wasn't ready for it.
That sounds right. I'll be hearing from him soon. Hopefully he has a good flight back. A lot of my friends go there. It's half the fun for me is seeing all the people I don't get to hang out with beyond Discord. So, yeah. Nice meeting you, Andy. Thanks for staying in my hotel, making a mess with me.
Thanks for setting everything up.
You know what? There was a red spot on our carpet when we came in to the hotel that they didn't care about.
Yeah, did we ever figure out what that was?
No. I went and told them about it because I didn't want to be blamed for it. I figure, you know, it's either melted candy or blood. Which one of those two do you think it is?
I don't think it was blood. It didn't really have the color of dried blood. But my guess is just like somebody brought like a fucking cherry Dr. Pepper. It there.
Yeah, it was sticky and very much dry. Anyway, I don't have anything else for you folks. I thought that you would be interested in seeing that and hearing how MAGFest went. That's my take on it. I had a lot of fun. I always go to the arcades and jam there. They had a console room. I guess I should mention that. The console room challenge play. The console room itself, you can play almost anything. You can go to the desk and ask to play a game. They have tournaments going on and stuff. But the challenge row, they have a bunch of ROM hacks, and there's stuff that I would like to use on my show if we could figure out how to do it. Some of that stuff. They're a little on the hard side because they give you money for winning them. You can earn some bucks. But, I mean... They're cool. I
kind of wanted to do one just for the sake of having one of the little mag bits or whatever. The mag bucks.
Yeah, I gave mine away, but I did get a pin. trying to think of some of those challenges. There was Frogger, except the frog was invisible. You had to land all 5 invisible frogs. I got 2 of them before I gave up. Mario Kart, you drive Mario and Luigi at the same time on Rainbow Road and do 2 laps that way in a minute. Really hard, because they don't go at the same speed or turn the same way.
Yeah.
There was Mario 1, do stage 1 without ever releasing run and right. You must always be running, and if you ever hit anything, you're dead. So a perfect speed run of stage 1 really is what that is. I got it after a few tries, like 10 minutes, because I'm bad at that, but I'm sure some people wouldn't have any trouble with that. One of the funniest ones to me was some kind of slightly harder mode of Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blast. I beat it on the first try, like, and I was wondering, is this real? Did you just give me $1 for this? Because I know that game. There's a really interesting Mortal Kombat one, where you must beat up Scorpion with Sonya Blade. His health is constantly draining, and he's always trying to kill you. If he kills you, you lose. And if you don't hit him, his health will drain, and he dies, and you lose. If you hit him, the damage that normally would be done is a heal on him instead. So basically, you have to last 60 seconds of beating up a guy without dying to him. And if you ever back off, you're dead. Like, you gotta do this thing. That was a really interesting one.
You have to punch him alive.
Yeah. They had Contra 1, 2, and 3, and they would switch between them every 10 seconds and save your place in each one as they switched, loading into the other one until you beat all 3 of the stage 1s of each of those. If you know Contra very well, that's not hard at all. I did it on my first try, but Contra 3 is the hard one out of that pack in my opinion. But it is stage 1 of Contra, so, you know, you gotta be a Contra fan to beat that.
Yep.
There were some other interesting ones. I didn't play them all. They looked like a lot of cool stuff was being done. I think the hardest one that I tried was Mario 64. You're being chased by a 1-up. It's very fast. If you ever...
Yeah.
You have to get all the red coins on the first level and get the star. And if you ever stop moving, it will catch up to you and instantly kill you. Now, that is also done on a SNES controller, all of them were. So if you think you can play that game on a SNES controller to begin with, that's already impossibly hard. But then you add in that you will die instantly if you stop, and man, that's rough. But again, they were worth money, so you expect them to be. Well, hey, thanks for joining me, Andy. I'm going to head out, and thanks everybody for coming to the live show if you were there, and I hope to see you next year if you weren't. And I'll have this video up on YouTube with the footage from their end, with the mics and stuff, the real, you know, the real sound. As soon as they post it, really, I'll combine them and put it up on my main channel, I'll let you know. See you later, everybody. I'll just host over to Rick. I'm not going to any cons this year, I don't think. I don't do many. PAX East would be the one I consider. I obviously am not going to AGDQ. So, enjoy AGDQ. I'm going to host Rick in the meantime. Have a good one, everybody. See you later, Andy.
Peace.